Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss some basic concepts related to floating point arithmetic. So first of all we need to understand what is the concept behind floating point number. So in a floating point number, the number of bit positions after the decimal point are not fixed. It is actually floating. So that's why the name floating point number. So in this example, the bit positions after the decimal points are not fixed. So these numbers are examples of floating point numbers. So now we have to see how to represent the number in a standard floating point format. So if you consider this particular example, for this example we have to this number has to be represented in the standard floating point format. So S is the sign bit, so f is the fraction, 10 is the base value for the decimal number. So this is a decimal number, so base value is 10. E is my exponent. So this particular number can be represented in the standard format like this. So 10 power 0 is actually 1, right? Again it can be represented by shifting the decimal point left. So as you shift the decimal point left, the exponent value get incremented. If you see here, now I have shifted my decimal point. Here my exponent value is getting increased. Again I am shifting. As I am shifting the decimal point towards left, the exponent value is getting increased. If you see here, I am shifting the decimal point to the right side. As I am shifting the decimal point towards right, the exponent value getting decreased. So this thing you have to remember. So this is the basic representation. As you shift the decimal point towards left, my exponent value getting incremented, and when I am shifting the decimal point towards right, my exponent value getting decreased. All are the correct representations. So if you see an example in binary format, so I am going to represent this particular number in the standard binary format. So here the sign bit is S, F is the fraction. Since it is a binary number, my base value is 2, E is the exponent. So initially I can able to represent this number in the standard floating point format like this. 2 power 0 is 1. So now I am going to start shifting the decimal point towards left. So as I am shifting the decimal point towards left, my exponent get increased. Exponent value get increased. So when I am shifting the decimal points towards right, my exponent value got decreased. So I have, for a particular number, I have this many number of representation. Here 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 different type of representation for a single number. So this representation differs from the user. So some person may choose this representation, some person may choose this representation. So it varies depending on the person. So we need to have a common representation for so every binary as well as any whatever may be the base. We need to have a general format for representing the floating point number. That's why we are moving on to the concept called normalization. So by doing normalization, we can able to achieve a common representation for a floating point number. So how to do normalization? So normalization, a normalized number is a number which is coming under the scientific notation category and which should not contain a leading zero. So what do you mean by scientific notation? So the number which has a single digit to the left of the decimal point. So you might have seen these several representation. So you can able to represent this particular number using these many type of representation. But if you want to normalize a number, it should be in the scientific notation first. So in order to find out the scientific notation number, so you have to check whether how many bits are having at the left of the decimal point. Here see, before the decimal point you have 4 bit. here before the decimal point 3 bit, here before the decimal point 2 bit. In the last two cases you have only one bit at the left of the decimal point. So according to scientific notation concept, these two are coming under scientific notation category. But according to a normalized number rule, so it should be a scientific notation, but it should not contain a leading zero. So the meaning of this is the number or digit which is at the left of the decimal point should not be a zero. So it is implied that it should be always 1. So according to the rule of normalization, we should have only one digit at the left of the decimal point, but it should be always 1. So this is the format also implied. This is my S is my sign bit. My fraction become 1 dot F. This is my decimal point, so I should be having only logic 1, a single digit at the left of the decimal point, and it also should be logic 1. So from this 8 different type of representation, out of which the last two only satisfying the scientific notation rule, but according to normalization we should be having only one bit at the left side of the decimal point, but it should be always logic 1. So this is my normalized representation for this particular number. So according to normalization rule, this particular representation is having only one bit left of the decimal point, and it is also logic 1. So this is my normalized representation of this particular binary number. So another example if you want to see. So in order to normalize, according to this example, you have to shift the decimal point left 2 bits. So at that time my exponent value got incremented. In this case, I have to shift my decimal point right towards right 3 bits, 1, 2, 3, in order to get 1.010. So at that time my exponent value got decremented by 3 bits. So minus 3. So in this example, in the initial case itself, I am having a negative exponent. Here, in order to normalize the given number, I have to shift the decimal point left by 2 bits. So I have to add 2. I have to add 2 with this minus 1. It results in plus 1. So in this example, the initial exponent value is 4. So here I have to shift my decimal point 4 bits towards right. So 4 minus 4, it will become 0. So this is the way we have to normalize the number. The next concept is truncation. So truncation can be applied in any base values like decimals as well as binary. So in this example, we have to truncate this particular number based on the question. For example, so in order to this thing you have to remember always, whether it may be a decimal number or binary number, whatever may be. So in order to truncate, you have to represent the given number in normalized format. So this number has to be normalized. So you have to shift the decimal point left for 3 bits. So you have to increment the exponent plus 3. So if you see an example in the binary case, here also you have to shift the decimal point towards left 3 bit. So you have to increment the exponent value by 3. So according to the question, we have to truncate the given number 4 bits or 3 decimal points. 4 bits means, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have to consider these 4 bits for truncation. 3 decimal points. So number of bits after decimal point should be 3. So 1, 2, 3. Both the questions are of same kind. Sometimes they may ask you to truncate for 4 binary digits or 4 bits or 3 decimal points. So both in case of both the cases are same. So in order to truncate for 4 bits, so we can omit the remaining bits and you can simply writing the 4 bits present in the number which is given for truncation. So this is the truncated number by considering the 4 bits or considering the 3 bit positions after the decimal point. So we will be omitting the remaining bits after 6. 450 get omitted for truncation. If they are asking to truncate for 3 bits, means you have to write only 4.45 5.45 into 10 power 5. So in case of this example, the same question truncate for 4 bits. So we will be considering 1.001 into 2 power 7. This is the case of truncation. So truncate for this many bits, they will be given. That many bits only we will be considering from the question. The remaining bits you can able to omit. Rounding. So rounding also require normalization initially. So I am normalizing this number. So binary case, I am normalizing this number. So I have to round for 4 bits or 3 decimal places. This is the question. For the given number, I have to perform rounding for 4 bit positions, or the number of bits after the decimal points is 3. So this is the question. So first of all, I am going to do the rounding for the this particular decimal example. So I have to consider 4 bits, right? So 5.456 is the number of digits to be considered. The bit which is immediate next to the required number is known as guard bit. 8 is my guard bit. The very next number is my round bit. The remaining bit streams or bits are known as sticky bits. Out of the required number of bits, my required number of bits to be rounded is 4. So I have to consider 5.456. The very immediate or extra number which is apart from the required number, the very first extra bit is known as guard bit. The second extra bit is known as round bit. The remaining extra bits are known as sticky bits. So based on this guard, round and sticky bits, only we are going to perform rounding. So you have to be very clear here. Apart from the required number of bits, the very next or the first extra bit is known as guard bit. The second extra digit is known as round bit. The remaining extra bits are known as sticky bits. So sticky bits can be omitted for rounding, since here we need to consider only 4 bits. Even we have 2 extra bits, guard bit as well as round bit. So you can omit the sticky bits. Here we have guard bit and round bit. So based on that only we are going to perform rounding operation. If for example I have only guard bit present in my question, for example I have only 5 bits, I have to round for 4 bits. At that time we will be having only guard bit. So if the range of the guard bit from 0 to 4, I have to round down. I have to perform rounding down for the range between 0 to 4. If the range is from 5 to 9, I have to round up. This is the case only when I am having guard bit alone. So if I am having the combination of guard bit and round bit, I have to consider both the numbers for rounding. So if the combination is ranging from 0 to 49, so at that time I have to round down. If the combination is between the range 50 to 99, at that time I have to round up. According to this example, I have both guard bit and round bit. The combination number is 87 here. So it is ranging from 50 to 100. So I have to round up. So my result after rounding will be 5.457. After rounding up, this 6 will become 7. So rounding down means you will be writing the number as it is, 5.456. If the value, the combination value is less than 50 or range between 0 to 49, at that time, at the time of rounding, I can able to simply write 5.456. Here in this case, the range is between 50 to 99. 87 falls between the range 50 to 99. So I have to round up the next immediate, the last bit to be considered, that has to be rounded up. Here the 5.456 will become 5.457 into 10 power 5. In case of binary also, we can able to perform rounding only after finding the normalized version of the given number. Here the normalized number is 1 point these particular terms into 2 power 7. So according to the question, we have to perform rounding for 4 digits. Actually, the number of bits to be retained is 4 bits, or the number of bits to be retained after the decimal point is 3 bits. Actually, 1.010 is to be retained. The next immediate extra bit is known as guard bit, the first extra bit. The second extra bit is known as round bit. The remaining bits are sticky bits. Actually, sticky bits may not be a single bit, so it can be a combination of bits. The extra bits, whatever coming after the round bits, are known as sticky bits. So based on the combination of guard, round as well as sticky bit, only we are going to perform rounding in terms of binary. Actually, these guard, round, sticky bits are used to improve the accuracy of the calculation at the time of rounding. So we have two cases. First case with 0 guard value, and second case my guard value is logic 1. If my guard value is logic 0, then we can able to omit round digit as well as sticky bit, and we can simply truncate. So truncate means in the previous slide we have seen we can able to omit the extra bits, and the number of bits to be retained only we will be mentioning at the result. Here for example, if my guard bit is simply 0, if my guard bit is 0, so the result will be 1.010. So we will be simply discarding the remaining bits. Actually it is otherwise known as chopping. Chopping is other name of truncation. The second case, what if my guard bit is logic 1? So if my guard bit is logic 1, I end up with two different cases. The first case, my round as well as sticky bits are completely 0. Second case, I have a non-zero round as well as sticky bit combination. The first case, my guard bit is 1, as well as if my round as well as sticky bit combinations are all zeros. At that time, it is a tie break situation. I have to follow banking algorithm. So according to banking algorithm, if all my round as well as sticky bits are 0, I have to check for the LSB of the bits to be retained. So here my LSB is 0. For example, I am telling if my guard bit is 1 as well as all the round as well as sticky bits are 0, at that time I am checking whether my given number LSB of the number to be retained is odd or even. If the LSB of the number to be retained is 0, then it is an even digit. If the LSB is logic 1, then it is an odd digit. If it is odd, we have to round to even by adding a 1 at the LSB. If it is even, we have to just truncate it. So in the next case, if the guard bit is 1 as well as round as well as sticky bits are non-zero, at that time we have to round up by adding a logic 1 at the LSB of the bits to be retained. For example, in this particular case, my guard bit is 1 and round as well as sticky bits are non-zero. The combination of round as well as sticky bits are non-zero. So at that time I have to add a logic 1 at the LSB of the bit to be retained. Here the bits to be retained is 1.010. So I have to add logic 1 here. So I will end up with this particular answer. Actually we have to keep in mind that the guard bit, round bit as well as sticky bits are used to improve the accuracy of the calculation while rounding. So we can see some other examples also. So all the examples I am going to round for 4 bit. Consider the first case, first example. So here my guard bit is 1, round bit as well as sticky bit combination is non-zero. So I have to round up by adding logic 1 at the LSB of the bit to be retained. So this is the answer after rounding. Next case, here also my guard bit is 1, sticky bit as well as round bit combination is a non-zero. So I have to round up by adding logic 1 at the LSB. So this is the special case what I have mentioned previously. So my guard bit is 1, round as well as sticky bit combination is completely 0. At that time I have to apply banking algorithm. So I have to check whether the LSB of the bit to be retained, whether it is odd or even. Here in this case it is even, so I have to just truncate it. So in this example, the same case, guard bit is 1, sticky bit as well as round bit combination is 0. Here in this case, the LSB of the bits to be retained is, it is an odd. So at that time I have to round it to even by adding a logic 1 at the LSB. So in this case, guard bit is 1, round as well as sticky bit combination is a non-zero, so you have to add logic 1 at the LSB. So in this case also, so my round guard bit is 1, sticky bit as well as round bit combination is non-zero, so I have to add logic 1 at the LSB. So this is the way we have to do rounding by considering guard, round as well as sticky bit. Thank you.